Gentlemen, what is going on today? My name is Ryan Mickler. I'm the host and the founder of the Order of Man podcast and movement. Here we are, guys, towards the end of the year 2021. It's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy year for probably a lot of you guys, a lot of good things happening, maybe some bad things happening in the wake of the reaction to COVID and lockdowns and all this other nonsense that's going on in the world right now. But I've been thinking a lot but a lot about what 2022 is going to hold for me and my family and my business and what we're trying to do here. And if I'm thinking about it, I imagine that you guys are probably thinking about it as well. About this time, everybody starts to think about New Year's resolutions and how to make their next year the greatest year ever. You hear a lot about how, 2021 was a warm up and 2022 is going to be my year. And I want that to be true. I'm not making light of that. I really want that to be true. But damn, it seems like some of you guys need like 10 warm-up years before you actually do anything. And I don't want that to be the case. I want 2022 to be the best year ever for you. So today I thought I'd share with you 5 very simple strategies and tips in order for you to crush 2022, because I don't want it to be another warm-up year. I don't want you to say 2021 was my warm-up year and then 12 months from now say, nope, 2022 is my warm-up year. Enough warming up. Let's get to it. So number 1, guys, you have to know exactly what you want. All right. I don't know what day this podcast will be released. I think it's the 17th. So really you have about 13, 14 days, 2 weeks at this point to think about what you want for 2022. And please don't say that you want to make more money. Don't say you want a better relationship. Don't say you want to be more spiritual or you want to be healthier. I'm not saying those things aren't good objectives to have. I'm saying they're not specific enough. So it's going to be hard for you to yield any sort of measurable result. One of my early mentors and now friend, Sean Whalen, made me come up with a very specific number that I wanted to reach. This was several years ago because I said, I want to make more money. And he really got after me. And he said, no, get specific. And so I did. I told him the amount that I wanted to make on a monthly basis. And within a 90-day window, I was making that much money on a monthly basis. That's largely in part to the fact that I got very specific about what I wanted. And it isn't any surprise to me now. It was then. Now that as I am more specific about what I want, that I inevitably achieve those goals and objectives. So if you want to make more money, how much money? Exactly, down to the dollar. If you want to have a better relationship with your wife, great. What does that mean? What does it look like? What specifically are you doing? What vacations are you taking? What dates do you have? If you want to lose weight, how much exactly? And why? Why do you want to lose that weight? What's that going to look like? When you walk by the mirror, how are you going to feel about yourself? When you're being intimate with your wife, how is that going to go when you have this objective accomplished? So guys, get very, very specific. Know exactly what you want. And I can assure you that if you know what you want, you are more likely to achieve that thing. I would also suggest to you that as you're thinking about these things, you don't have to crush the entire year. Okay. I like to work in 90-day segments, 12 weeks at a time. So I've planned out what the first quarter of 2022 is going to look like. And what that allows me to do is not get so broad and overwhelmed with everything I want to get done next year, but just something that I can accomplish in 90 days. And 90 days keeps me interested. It's short enough. It keeps me interested. I have a little bit of ADD going on, but it's also long enough where I can actually achieve a measurable result, something that's significant, not just a slight improvement over last week. So know exactly what you want. Think about your fitness. Think about your money. Think about the relationships. Think about how you're going to build wealth in your business. Think about how you feel about yourself and get specific. Get a journal out, get a notepad out, whatever. Use our battle planner, 12-week battle planner, which is in the store at store.orderofman.com. I talk about it at length in my book, Sovereignty, the Battle for the Hearts and Minds of Men, and it will help you walk through that plan. So that's number 1, know what you want. Number 2, you got to know your deficiencies. All right. There's some areas in your life that you are falling short. Whether or not you acknowledge that and realize that is another question. And it's not always comfortable to think about the fact that maybe you're inadequate in some areas, that maybe you're struggling, that maybe you aren't as good as you think you are. But you need to acknowledge that. And if you don't acknowledge that and you put the blinders on and you pretend like it doesn't exist, then I promise you a year from now, you're going to be saying 2023 is my year because 2022 wasn't. Again, I don't want that to be the case. So pull the blinders off. Open yourself up to the idea that maybe you aren't as good as you think you are. The buzzword is vulnerable, right? I'm not going to use the buzzword. I'm going to use another word. I was talking with my friend Jack Donovan about this. The word is humility. Exercise some humility, not vulnerability, humility. All right. You aren't perfect. You don't have everything figured out. Neither do I. Neither does anybody. So, what exactly are those deficiencies? What do you need to shore up? What skill set do you need to develop? What characteristic trait of yours is a flaw? What are your vices? What do you need to let go of? You need to identify what you want, but you also need to identify what you have that's in the way. And that's what maybe some of these deficiencies are, or some things that maybe you need. I need to develop this skill set or this relationship or this network. And that's the next point. Number 3 is you have to start building out your team. Right now, if you're a business owner, you've got to have an accountant. You've got to have maybe a product manager or an office manager. You've got to have a scheduler. You've got to have an attorney. Like, business owners build out teams as appropriate, but we don't do that in other facets of our lives. Who is on your team? If it's your neighbor, Bob, who you don't really like and you guys don't really get along, but it's a relationship based on default because he happens to be your neighbor, okay, that probably isn't the best way for you to build your team. Building a team is deliberate and intentional. You think about a professional sports team, the Patriots, for example, building out their roster. Is it just kind of willy-nilly, like whoever we think, like maybe that guy, okay, he seems like he's pretty good. Yeah, let's whatever. Oh, somebody made a recommendation. One of our players said his buddy or his cousin plays, so let's recruit him. No, that's not what they do. They go out and they recruit. They watch film. They interview. They have conversations. They look at their track record. They watch video. They see what the other people's stats are if they were on another team or in college before that. Like, they're meticulous about bringing in the right people onto their team that's going to help them, shore up some of the deficiencies they may have as a team. Okay, and that's one thing they acknowledge. So that was point number 2. But then also to build a winning program. Guys, you have to do the same thing in your life. Who is on your side? Who is your spiritual advisor? Who is your financial advisor? Do you have an accountant? Who is it that you train with? Who is it that holds you accountable? Who is it that keeps you on the right track? Who can you call if you're in a bind? Who can call you if they're in a bind? Build out your team. So know what you want, look for your deficiencies, and as you figure out what those are, build the team around that. Be very deliberate and intentional in the next 2 weeks and as we move into 2022. Number 4, you have to have a plan for execution and communication. A plan for execution and communication. So now you know what you want. You've got it written down. You've got it documented. You know what your deficiencies are. You know what you need to shore up. You're actively working on building out your team to have the right people in the right places to do the right things for you to help you. Now you need to have a plan in place for that execution. What am I going to do on a daily basis? How am I going to track it? Where in my calendar is this going to go? Like, for example, right now I'm in the process of writing my second book that comes out next year. I know what I want. I want to write the book. I know what my deficiencies are. I'm not a great writer, but I have a team who's helping me edit, who's doing the design work, who's doing the distribution. That's my team. And then I have a plan in place for execution. I write every single day. I write no less than 1,000 words per day. I don't miss that at all for anything. Sometimes I'm up late. Sometimes I'm up early because I got to get that 1,000 words done. But I've got a very systematized process. It's all right here in my hand for ensuring that I get this work done. I know my deadlines. I know my goals. I know my checkpoints. I got to have this many words written by here. I know exactly where everything is. And also, so that's my plan for execution. I also have a plan for communication. So I have all these moving parts, and there's people who are impacted by the things I'm doing. Let's take the book writing process. I've got my editor. We've got our designer. We've got our distribution team. We've got our marketing team. And we talk, we communicate. We all know we're going to rally together. We're going to talk about these things on a weekly, if not more frequently, basis. But also my family is going to be impacted by these decisions because I've got my head down on this thing. And so I won't be as available for other things that I might normally be. And so I need to communicate that with my wife. I need to communicate that with my children. And we do that every single day. And it's not just a passing. It's not just when it happens, because if I did that, it wouldn't ever happen. It's clear, it's deliberate, it's intentional. It's every morning. We talk about what's going on for the day and the week every morning. And then we also, I would say 95% of the time, have dinner together as a family. And we're having these types of conversations. A plan in place for execution and a plan in place for communication with those who are going to be impacted by the work that you're going to be doing moving into the new year. And guys, the last point. So this is a 5-step formula for you. The last point, a system in place for review. Very few people do this. Everybody plans at the end of the year. They all start writing down what they like. Everybody does that. They don't always do it effectively or efficiently, but everybody does it. These other ones hit or miss, but this one nobody does. They don't ever review. Guys, is what you're doing working? Okay, because what you might be thinking right now is that I've done all this work in 2021 and 2022 is the year it's going to be paying off for me. Is it though? Because what if you're doing the wrong things? You feel productive. You feel like you're getting a lot of work done. You feel like you're moving the needle. But if you aren't going back and analyzing your performance and reviewing it and looking at where those deficiencies are and looking at how you can improve in those areas, 2022 is going to yield much of what 2021 did for you. So you have to have a process. I review daily. It's all, as I said earlier, right here in my hand. I go in and I ask myself 5 questions. Here they are. Number 1, what did I get done today? Well, I got my 1,000 words written. I made these emails. I recorded this podcast. Whatever you did. What did I get done? Number 2, what did I not get done? Because there's things on my list every day. I don't think there's been more than a handful of days that I've completed everything on my to-do list, maybe twice in my life. Most of the time, it's that I have something that needs to roll over to tomorrow. Well, I identify what it is now so that tomorrow I don't have to spend a bunch of time thinking about it. I'm ready to hit the ground running. So number 2, what did I not get done? Number 3, what did I do well? This is different than what did I get done. What did I do well? Where did I thrive? Hey, I was writing my words today for the book, felt very efficient. Everything flowed really well. Why was that the case? I'll give you an example. If I think about topics and make a bullet point list of what I want to write about the next day, that next day's writing always goes better, always. And so I did that well today. That means I need to double down on that. That system works. That little tactic or strategy works. So I need to keep doing that. But if I'm not thinking about what's working, it's hit or miss, and I'm not really knowing what's producing the results or what's keeping me from producing the results. Number 4, what did I not do well? What did I not do well? Maybe when it comes to writing, maybe it just felt very clunky today. I didn't get any done. I had some writer's block. I got my words because I said I was going to do 1,000, but it was grinding and it was miserable. Okay, well, why? Why is that the case? Well, because my kids were coming in and out of the office and I had a bunch of meetings and I couldn't sit down for 2 hours. I had to sit down for 15 minutes there and 15 minutes here. Okay, you can see how that would be a problem. But again, if I don't spend any time thinking about why that was the case, I won't do anything differently next time. So let's recap those 4 questions. Number 1, what did I get done? Number 2, what did I not get done? Number 3, what did I do well? Number 4, what did I do not so well? And then the 5th question is, what am I going to do about it tomorrow? Now we're no longer living in the present. We're projecting ourselves into the future so that tomorrow in 12 hours or 15 hours or whenever it is for you, maybe it's 5 hours, tomorrow is going to be efficient and effective because of the work that you did today. So guys, you have to have that system in place, that 5-step system or those questions, line of questioning. It doesn't even have to be those questions. It could just be that line of questioning, but a system in place for review. So with that said, let me recap, and then I'm going to give you one resource you may be interested in and share another one that will be available soon. Number 1, what do you want out of your life in 2022? Number 2, what deficiencies do you have? What practices or habits or vices are in the way? And what skill sets and strategies do you need to develop in order to have what you want? Number 3, build your team out. Be deliberate and intentional. Recruit as needed based on what you want and the deficiencies you have. Number 4, have a plan for execution. This is not a thinking exercise. This is a doing exercise. The thinking leads to the doing. It doesn't stop at the thinking. So have a plan for execution and a plan for communication with those who will be affected by the decisions you're making. And number 5, have a system for review. Guys, if you want some help on that, we've got you can do it on your own. And if you can, all the power to you. But I do have a free resource available for you. It's called 30 Days to Battle Ready. Now, you only have 2 weeks. You're going to get halfway through this thing, but it's okay because it's going to give you a track to run on. It's 17 emails over the course of 30 days that are going to help flesh out everything that I just shared with you. It's going to help you get specific. It's going to help you get granular, and it's going to help you put together a plan so that when you get to that execution moment, you're able to execute with maximum efficiency and effectiveness. It's called 30 Days to Battle Ready. If you want to check it out, go to orderofman.com/battle ready. orderofman.com/battle ready. The other resource is not available right now, but it will be opening in the first quarter of 2022 is our Iron Council. That's our exclusive brotherhood. So we've taken all of these concepts along with the Battle Ready program and made, I don't want to say a cookie cutter approach, but a system, a tool, a resource that's got everything lined out so that all you have to do is now plug into it and execute on it. Instead of having to think about it and do all the guesswork and wonder, no, you're going to have the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the accountability, all inside of the Iron Council. So it's not open right now, but registration will be open soon. And if you're interested, you can go to orderofman.com/Iron Council. You'll watch a 3-minute video. It'll explain everything that we do, and you can enter your email address in so that you can be notified first and foremost before anybody else when the thing opens up in 2022. So orderofman.com/battle ready, orderofman.com/Iron Council. Let's get to work. 2021 may have been a warm-up year. I don't want 2022 to be a warm-up year for you. I want it to be a performing year. Do these things, these 5 things, tap into the resources we have available for you. And I have no doubt that you will make this the best year ever. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I'll be back next week. Until then, go out there, take action, and become the man you are meant to be.